will do my best.
Yes. Okay. Well, that's all. That's all I can ask.
Perfect.
So, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thanks. How about you, man?
I am busy, but good. Good busy. We uploaded some big videos. We're getting a lot of traction. A lot of people today. We almost had 700 people at some point today. So.
Yeah, that's insane for a Maple Story thing, to be honest.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. I think I had more viewers one time when there was, I don't know, it was like a really big update and the game was down, and then another 3 hours and then another 4 hours, and everyone was like, when is it coming? And then we had like, I think almost 1,000 people. But yeah.
Yeah, actually I had no idea that like much people return now. I had no idea about the compensation thing. Or I just was home sick a couple of days ago, and I was I always return like once a year to Maple Story, so I decided this was the time.
Yeah, well,
this is pretty good timing.
Perfect timing, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, so specifically to the compensation, I guess we can get that stuff out of the way. Specifically for that, I already have like my own video for that. Have you checked that out?
No, I haven't. I started playing yesterday again, so
yeah, the video was only uploaded late yesterday, so it's very fresh, very new. But yeah, we can go over like the details pretty quickly, I guess. When it comes to your account, have you looked into like what it is and where you can get it?
I'm at the admin app right now, so do you want me to screen share or something as well?
No, well, we can talk about it.
Yeah, sure.
Because screen share the resolution and stuff. I guess the compensation. The main thing is that you have quite a lot of time to figure it out what you want to get and where you want to get it. So there's no and there's already some bugs with like how much people are getting and stuff. It's good to know for the first part though, since you don't play the whole year through, like how many flame points and like Mungie coins and honor, like how much are you? Did you see the points for that? How much you get on your account?
I just clicked it, but I think I had like 300 flame orbs and like 2.9k the coins. Or about, and the last one I have no idea. I think it was like below 30.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the Mungie coins, you can just I guess if from what I heard from the chat, if you get over 100 in your account or in your inventory, or like quite a bit more, then it's really hard to, like, impossible to redeem them. So don't buy too many of those at a time. But that's just Mezzo, so, well, not that Mezzo is bad, but that's pretty simple. You can just, get them, click them, and then that doesn't really matter when you do that. The honor experience, the only thing matters there is what character you pick them on. So if you have one dedicated main that you really need to or want to work on the inner ability, then that would be a good idea to pick it there. And then the flame stuff, I would first come up with like a plan on what do you want to do and what do you want to upgrade towards and all of that stuff, because you have until April 28th to pick all of that stuff up. So there's no there's more than a month, so you have quite a lot of time to figure out what you want to do first.
I do have a 220 Lumi as well, who's stacked on gear as well. Not stacked, but like I vented much Mezzosine into it, but I will use my Kanna as a main, I think, because it's way easier to play. It's
easier, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's just super easy. What can I say? That's what it is. Okay. So a few things to know. And it also goes into like deciding where you want to take all the other compensation and stuff. Because this is just like currency over what happened in the last 2 years, and then the other thing is like a box for all the players, including the new players, like a giant welcome gift or thank you gift, basically. And it has stuff like a vac pet and everything, so it can be pretty important to know where you're going to use that.
Yeah, I will just make it simple and use everything on my Kanna, I guess. Like the relevant stuff. I don't know if I hesitated, because I have 3 options now. A gift for all the heroes and exchange to rebirth or honor EXP.
Yeah.
So the
one for all the heroes. Well, so the first one is like, this is the total amount of points you can get, and you have to choose what server you redeem those points on, because some people might play on Bera and on Reboot, for example, and they have to choose where they want to get all those points. So you pick Reboot, and then now all the points are available to pick up here, depending on how many you want to pick up and everything. So when it comes,
I could just do it now.
Yeah, so some things it's just fine, like with the Mungie coins. So when you pick the option for the For the honor EXP, if you pick that, there's like an option for Mungie coins. And you can you can pick those up and then just double click them in your inventory and you'll get a bunch of money from that.
Okay, that's 2.9k.
So 2.9k points.
Yeah, 2,958.
Yeah, so that's like 30 bill, almost.
Oh.
So redeem them 100 at a time and just open 100 and then pick up another 100. Don't pick them all up because they'll be stuck, like mine. I have 1,200 now just in my inventory and I can't do anything with it. It doesn't, like, it gives an error. So.
Okay, so 100 at a time, and I have to use them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, or you just let them sit there and just pick them up later or something like. If you don't need the money right now, I guess.
I do. Like when I stopped playing last time, I just used all my money just to, as you said on the stream before.
Right. You just used everything and then ditched.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, welcome back. Here's some money.
That's good.
Yeah, that's a good shit. So. Okay. Yeah, the other stuff. You're just trying to main the Kanna as your bosser as well.
Yeah, I will probably do that. Maybe I don't think I will be able to I'm not that dedicated that I will be playing like the black mage and such. I can already do like the Helix and stuff. I did that like a year ago. But I do just wanna have a character that can easily farm messes and such. Just to
wait,
really
hang on. Wait, a year ago, was that after the rework?
No idea at first.
How long ago was the rework for Helix? Did you have to wait? How was it different?
I don't think it was after, because I just didn't damage the middle and jumped up and one-shot it.
Oh, yeah. So basically, hard lux is as hard as Helix was before, basically, and Helix is like quite a size bigger than that now.
Okay.
But you can. Yeah, so the drops changed. So it's not the it used to be the earrings and it used to be the belts and the pendants that drop, right? From Helix.
Yeah.
And now it's the earrings and the belts.
Okay.
So the
rings is still purchasable.
Yeah, but you can buy all of them now in the shop.
Okay.
So yeah.
Because I had a quest where I can exchange my superior Golux pendant, I think.
Yeah, so they did that because some people had two, and they also changed the set bonus. So if you look at the set bonus now, you'll see that the pendant is only in there once instead of 2 times.
Oh yeah, I have 2 on me.
Yeah, so if you want to get the 4 set bonus, you have to have 1 of each of the equips now. And then the second pendant...
Yeah, I have that.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, because so now you have 5 out of 4
earrings,
basically.
Pendant, belt, and ring.
Yeah. So one of the pendants, what most people do for like late game, end game, is they get a Dominator pendant, and then they try to get a good flame on that, and then transpose that one into the Sweetwater pendant, instead of doing that with the earring before, right?
Okay, I have neither of that ones.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's something you could do later. That's quite a bit later. But what so Dominator is a pretty good pendant to get either way. The main thing is, it'll have to depend on like how good your pendants are currently. But some pendants are the base stats of the superior pendant isn't really that good, right? It's not really amazing or anything.
Oh, yeah. I think I focus a lot on item drop. I think I have 100% item drop and 100% messes obtained with my like DPSing gear.
Oh yeah, okay. So you still have like you're in the like, kind of like the hybrid phase where all of your gear has like a little bit of everything.
Yeah. Like I have.
You have some damage rings.
My REBOOT Vengeful ring is like 30% int.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and your reinforced
my superior Golux is 18 and 20% drop.
Right. Yeah.
Then I have a couple of like 9% int and 20 messes or drop. Yeah.
Okay, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I might have missed some items. I see now.
There's some others here.
Yeah, the Blackgate mask is there as well.
Yep. Yeah, so if you wear... Yeah, so you can do like 100, 100. Or you can do, what, like 80 meso and 120 drop, I think, right? Because of the rings?
Yeah, I think that's what I usually did, yeah. It was so long time ago. I had all of these planned out in my head before.
Yeah, it all made
lost
sense. Yeah. 3, 4, 5. Oh no, you have 6 total items with meso. Because it's with 1.
I hesitated a lot in the beginning as well, so I used a lot of mesos to cube things that I shouldn't have cubed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, in
So
the beginning, a lot of people...
really good cubing.
Yeah, if you
I have a
focus
lot
in
of
the beginning
legendary.
on farming and getting a lot of cubes, then the potential usually goes like way overboard compared to all of the other stuff in the beginning, so
Yeah.
that's pretty normal. Okay, so you have 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6.
How many black gates rings is there? Yeah,
I see
have
2.
2 cubed. Yeah. I have a third one, but that's not usable.
Mm-hmm. Well, so right now you have, looks like you have 6 items with meso obtain on it, right? The eye face, 1 pendant, and then 3 rings.
Yeah.
But you can
And
only...
I'm sorry, I missed 2 items as well. I see I have a solid Golux ring with 17 stars and 27% int.
Okay.
And I have a black gate necklace with 20% meso obtain and 9% int as well.
Okay, so you have another
that
meso obtain.
Might not be relevant though.
It could be.
Do you want me to send the pictures separate? You can.
No, 17 solid and 17 pendant. So what we want to get is we want to have like a combination set where you have at least 5 meso 4 drop, right? But for you that'll be 5/5 because of the condensed power crystal. And then whatever you have over that, if you have more items like accessories that are already legendary, it would be best to go for drop rate on those, because then you would end up with situations where, you know, if you're like doing lucid and you're hitting the box, or you're killing like a boss that just drops crystals where the meso obtain doesn't do anything, but you can kill him with drop rate gear, then you can just have a higher chance of getting flames and cubes and all of that from killing the boss.
Oh yeah.
So that way you can go over the drop rate, because the drop rate on your equips stacks up to 200%, so 10 total lines.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I thought it was 100. Did I say the solid Golux ring? Did I say 17 or 27%?
You said 17 star with 27% int, I think.
Oh yeah, correct.
So yeah, so you have too many items with meso now, so you could re-roll some of those for drop rate. So just pick whichever one has like the worst stats, I guess. I try to get drop on those instead.
I do. I wrote which ones I equipped, right? I have the Synergy ring, the Reboot Superior Golux, and the Reboot Vengeful ring.
Vengeful.
The Reboot Vengeful is 30% int.
Yeah. So for damage, you use Reinforced, Vengeful, what, Solid and Superior?
I think I used to use the Solid. Yeah, exactly. But now the Solid is in the inventory. So you mean maybe I should reroll the Reboot Cosmos ring then, because it's 20% mesos and 9% int.
Yeah.
And I can get I could get the item drop instead.
Yeah, so you could reroll that one. You could reroll the pendant because you have the other one, right? The other pendant, if you want to, the Blackgate one, and just use that one for drop rate. Sorry, for meso, I mean.
Okay, so I shouldn't focus like damage and mesos, because I use that when I'm farming. But I guess I one-shot the mobs anyway.
Yeah, because you one-shot anyway. The main thing to keep like one-shotting is arcane power and is boost nodes. Like that's where all of your damage is like coming from. As long as your stuff is legendary, has like a line of int on it, and your like hybrid gear is good, right? Like the gear that you use both in bossing and in mobbing. If that gear is good enough, then you'll always keep just one-shotting, or you know what consists of one-shotting, which basically means killing all the monsters before the new ones spawn, right?
Yeah.
So
what I did before, I think, was like farming the arcane symbols. I guess it's for the arcane weapon. I used mesos.
The droplets, you mean?
Yeah, exactly. So I used mesos obtain and item drop because I wanted the mesos and the
exactly.
droplets.
Exactly, yeah. So the best thing for that is to get items that have double line, like your face accessory, right?
Yeah.
That would be like perfect, because that's just or you know, either double meso or double drop, or a combination, right? If you want to get that, it's slightly easier to get that with black cubes. So you could say, I'm just gonna wear whatever set I have now that has like 5 meso, 5 drop. And focus on that for now, and focus on just leveling and, you know, making use of all the free stuff, and focusing on just moving forward, you know, getting to new areas, training hard, and making money that way. And then once you get to the point where you really start killing very quickly in Arcana, and you can get really good rates because you're killing just a lot of monsters, then you can say, I'm going to throw black cubes at those items, right? Those items that have lines on them but I'm not actively using. So that would probably be best to use on the Reboot Cosmos ring. I think on your pendant that has Meso Obtain, right? The one superior with Meso Obtain. And then there's one more item that you could do, because you have 1, 2, yeah, and then that one would be gone. So you'd still have 3, 4, 5. Hang on, I'm gonna make sure we do the maths right here.
So what we're saying is, I will reroll the Reboot Cosmos and the Golok Superior with Mesos obtained into item drop.
Yeah, ideally either 2 item drop, or an item drop and a meso, or 2 meso, or a lot of intellect, whichever one, you know, you end up with.
Can I get the double line of the same?
Yes, you can even get, I think you can get the triple even, but I don't think you can get triple of meso. Well, basically what happened, I don't know if you know about why the compensation happened and everything, but basically a lot of the RNG behind the cubing systems and the inner ability and all of that, a lot of that when Nexon basically just said it's random, which people read as, oh, you don't know the outcome, you know, it's like rolling a dice, you know, 1 in 6. But actually it wasn't random like that. It was weighted. So like some possibilities were more likely than others to happen the whole time, and they never told us that. So basically people figured that out, that if you had certain things already in your inner ability and then you rerolled, there's some crazy videos in KMS, but someone had like 2 very specific lines on their inner ability, and then they rerolled and they got like attack speed +1 on the top line every 2 rolls basically. One time they got it 3 times in a row. So they were able to manipulate it that way. So next one was like looking really bad there, charging for all the cubes and stuff. So that's why we got a bunch of this. And in that they also explained that you cannot get, I think it's 3 lines of IED or 3 lines of boss on weapons, I believe. And I think you can also not get 3 lines of drop or 3 lines of meso on an item. Or one of the 2 you could get, but the other one not, I think. But you can get a combination. So theoretically, you could get 2 lines of meso and a line of drop. Like theoretically, of course, you know, that's pretty low chance. It's going to be really expensive. But as you see on your face accessory, that could have been 2 meso as well, or 2 drop. Those are like 3 outs that you can have basically. But in general, that's a bit more expensive, so that might be something that you don't want to get into right now, right? But more once you make a bit more money, once you get to a higher level, and once your kill speed goes up, then you can put way more, get more value back from making an upgrade like that.
Okay, so like the first focus is to get like rerolling to item drop, whatever.
Yeah, well, you don't...
These 2 items, at least.
I would say you don't have to do that right away, because you have a set of equips that you can do with 5 meso, 5 drop, and that's pretty good, right?
Yeah, the hybrid, that's what I'm usually using, I guess.
Yeah. I would think about more going for like replacing, or like being able to equip like full drop rate equips instead. More of that when you're really doing like some harder bosses where it's really important.
Okay.
So yeah, it'll help you a little bit on the way there, but like once you're doing like a lot of bosses daily and weekly, then you can increase like flame drop rate, cube drop rate, soul shard drop rate, all of that for the long term. So yeah, since you just got into some money now from the Mungie coins, I don't think it's the best idea to like immediately throw them at your accessories to try to min max for when you're like at the end killing because the drop rate doesn't affect the drop rate for stuff like for some items. So for stuff like Papulatus Mark, Superior Galax equips, and Abzo and Arcane drops and other pitch boss accessories, it doesn't affect your drop rate. So for those,
all right.
yeah. So because of that, it's more valuable for droplets and you know and stuff like that, and node stones and stuff.
Okay. So like what I'm looking for right now when coming back like this, it's like it is a kind of hybrid playstyle, I guess, where I don't have to think a lot.
Okay.
To start with, at least.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that you have a solid like 5 meso 5 drop that you can start with. The main thing that you have to think about, like for the longer term, is like the change with the superior set, right?
Yeah.
And if you probably want to see, you know, how close you can get to Halux, you probably won't be able to kill it immediately. So the mechanics, real quick, the mechanics for Halux change a little bit as well. So you remember the pink breath?
Yeah.
That ranges now from like, it goes like a little bit behind his mouth, right? If you're like really close to the middle, you can still get hit.
Okay, like before you just uked it with like a centimeter.
Yeah, you have to be like 2 or 3 centimeters behind him.
Okay.
But in front of him, it hits the whole way into the, even like on the portal. Like it hits the entire area. Even though it doesn't look like it, it hits you all the way there.
Oh yeah, I remember doing it with my Night Lord. I just stood far back, yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you will still die if you do that now. So
alright, cool.
That's important. I think what Kannas do for phase 2 is they stand on the like in the middle platform, right? When you're at the eyes phase, I think they stand on the right side and then just the spam attack there, and then I think Foxfire blocks all of the crazy attacks.
Okay.
Yeah, but Kanna. Some Kanna experts could probably give you a little bit more in-depth advice, but I think that's what Kannas do these days.
Yeah, I guess I'll just YouTube it anyway.
Yeah. Sure. So did you play when the Kishin duration for Kanna, when that was cut in half?
I played during the first nerf, when they nerfed the the spawns.
Well, we're like 5 nerfs in now, I think. So what? I don't know which one you see as the first one.
The first one, I think that is the first one, like the real first one.
Is that when the totems came out?
Yeah, the totem came and the...
Yeah, I think that, yeah. Well, I think that was the 3rd nerf, I think, chronologically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they've been messing with Kishin for a long time.
Yeah.
Pretty much since they released it.
On it.
Yeah. So they released the Fury totems first, right? The white and red ones. And then they changed... Then they nerfed Kishin again. At least they said they did. And then they replaced the Fury totems with the wild totems. But because of how the intervals of spawn work in MapleStory, that nerf actually did nothing. It did exactly the same speed of respawn. So that didn't really change anything. But the second thing they did with that is they made Kishin uptime 50% only. So if you just press Kishin and then you don't do anything, it only works for like a minute with 2-minute cooldown. I think is the timer. Yeah. Or for 30 seconds with 1 minute cooldown. So what you want to do is you want to have Night Ghost Guide proc a bunch of times. And if you proc Night Ghost Guide on a monster, then you get a little bit longer duration for Kishin and the longer duration for the extra spawn in the map.
Wait, Night Ghost is... Yeah, that's... Yeah, okay.
So for Night Ghost Guide, so to trigger Night Ghost Guide, you want to make sure that you're not jump attacking, so like standing on the ground is important. And you want to make sure that your attacks, that some of your attacks don't kill in one shot, because they only trigger on a monster that doesn't get killed by your attack. And it has to be an attack that you use. So it cannot be triggered by like your boss or your Kishin hitting things. Summons doesn't count. So that's a good thing to keep in mind. Because I think you have some boost nodes with Night Ghost Guide in it, right?
Yeah, I had 18 plus 5.
Because that might actually make the Night Ghost Guide stronger, that it kills sometimes, and then...
The final damage is increased by 36%.
That might actually work against you.
Okay.
Because of it. So looking into that. Oh yeah, if you want to buy ginger ales, those are in a different spot now, but there's a command in the chat for that. I see someone just used it. You don't buy those.
The white.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I have like 3k stacked up. So
oh yeah, you should be good for a while with
fine.
Kanna. With all your self healing and stuff, you should be okay for a bit. Yeah, because it depends on like what map you're training in and how hard you're going. But depending on where you are, so like Vanquisher Charm is typically, I guess we can, we're kind of like going all over the place. So if there's any topic that you feel like, or any question that you still have that you feel like we haven't gone in depth enough on, just let me know, okay?
Yeah, like the spells. When I go back to this Kanna, I made a new Kanna just to experience the skills again. So I leveled it to 140 yesterday, just to make sure I remember the first couple of skills and the play style. Then I jumped onto this one. And I got a headache from the Matrix and such, just to remember everything.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going in
like
there.
The spells I will get used to. It's no worries, I guess.
Yeah, so Vanquisher Charm is mainly for bossing once you have like all of your other stuff done. When it comes to like mobbing and training, Vanquisher Charm is pretty much like unnecessary, at least in the beginning. The main thing you focus on is the boss Yaksha, that big summon guy. So you basically just, put it anywhere in the map facing a side of the map that you don't want to have to walk to, and your boss will just, destroy that side of the map basically. And the other thing that will help you a lot typically is like a high level in Exorcist Charm. So the idea is kind of that you put Kishin somewhere to kill like a part of the map, and then put Yaksha somewhere else to kill another part of the map, and then whichever part of the map is left, you just stand there and spam spam Exorcist Charm basically. That's kind of how farming goes.
Which one is that?
Exorcist Charm? That's like the one were there like the last rework where they reduced the cooldown a lot for Exorcist Charm? Because in the past it was like, I don't know, like 10, 12 second cooldown or something, and now it's like 1.5 second or something. You can basically spam it.
I have no idea what.
You float up in the air like a little bit, and then you have an AoE damage around you. And it's like a white charm that shows up behind you.
What? I'm looking through my skills now. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's called Exorcist Charm. I don't know.
Yeah, I will just look for it. No worries. I will just look for it.
I'm gonna say I have it on the A button, but I don't think that's gonna help you very much.
Oh yeah. So okay.
Like you float a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that one has a very low cooldown. Yeah, and it's a pretty good AoE. So generally, you just put the ghost boss Yaksha somewhere, and then you put the Kishin somewhere, and that like cordons off part of the map where they're taking care of that. You don't have to worry about that. And then you just put Exorcist Charm and the other part of the map, and then the combination of Exorcist Charm and your circle of suppression, the AoE around you, the shield that pushes people back, and Yosuzume that pops out. The combination of all of those things. Excuse me. The idea is that kind of takes care of all of the other monsters in the map that are not immediately getting destroyed by the summons as soon as you spawn. And then you rotate in domain whenever you can, and pick like a big part of the map. And then
the pink circles, like.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Put that somewhere in the middle of the map, and then when you put domain down, you can use the Yuki Musume Shokan, that freezer spirit lady.
Yeah.
And then you can hold down Vanquisher Charm, and that immediately, if you hold down Vanquisher Charm until it ends, that immediately charges your full domain, and then you have max size domain, and then you can focus during that time to loot around the map, because then Kishin, like spirit domain, is just constantly killing, and then you don't lose as much money by walking around the map to loot. So that's like a good rotation to use.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's easier than right now I'm just jumping around and using my Shiki hunting thingy. Yeah,
exactly. Depending on the map, Shikigami hunting can also be very useful, and that is also Shikigami hunting. You might want to use it every now and then, because you need skills like Shikigami hunting to trigger your liberation spirit circle.
Okay.
So, but you can freely just use Exorcist Charm wherever, and then if you go to the bottom of the map, then use Shikigami hunting for the liberated spirit circle, so it has more monsters on top of the map to fly through.
Oh yeah, okay,
yeah. But if you use Shikigami hunting like on the top of the map and you get a liberated spirit circle and it hits like 2 monsters and then it's gone, that feels really bad because there's a lot of skill potential that exactly. Yeah, you just lose all that possible damage. Yeah. So because of that, because of domain, and because of Liberated Spirit Circle as well, sometimes Kannas look for more vertical maps rather than horizontal maps. If you're going into horizontal maps, then you might be looking into Tengu Strike for skill to boost. Yeah, there's like some more, I wouldn't say advanced, but like different training and farming techniques where you use Tengu Strike and then use the Arcane River to, if you jump into the river, sometimes you get teleported to the other side, right?
Yeah.
And then
it, like makes a huge or long damage.
Yeah, Tengu flies through the map, hits the monsters, and then does it again on the other side. And then spawning, increasing Tengu for damage helps you a lot with those rates. And then you basically just use your summons again, and then you just use Tengu to go from left to right. And then again, you use the domain somewhere to make sure that you keep killing, keep your kills up, keep your combo up while you're looting around and getting experience, basically.
Okay, yeah. I guess I would just get used to the mobbing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you might be at a time where to just put in a bunch of boost nodes, because you're probably going to be reworking a little bit which boost nodes you use and which skills you boost. So I think something like Mana Overload is pretty much later in the game to like min-max your damage on bosses. It's not that useful to use this early on. So I would focus more on getting extra boost nodes in there to make sure that all of your skills and the other skills than the ones you have get a bit more damage. So I would like just not equip the ones with Night Ghost Guide and Vanquisher Charm now and move more into Ghost Boss Yaksha, Exorcist Charm, and Tengu.
Okay. So what was it? Night Ghost, get rid of that one and get rid of the Mana Overload.
Well, get rid of as in unequip, right? Not as in I wouldn't disassemble them because that's you get very little back for that, so that's a bit of a waste.
Oh, yeah. I have 27 node stones. I don't know. I have no idea if that is much or not.
Let's just say that if you have like a completely new character and you want to fully like deck them out and get them ready, it's probably about 4,500-5,000 node stones.
Okay.
Just as a reference.
27 is not,
yeah.
not a lot.
So, I mean, it's more than 0, but it's not like an insane amount. No, there's a haste event going on right now. Make sure you do that every day when you're training and stuff. That gives a bunch of node stones and arcane symbol selector coupons and like free stuff every day when you open the boxes. Yeah. So that's a good thing to do. The one thing I guess to say on the V Matrix is that there's a new V skill for all the classes, including one for Kanna. Which is a full map AoE with like the ghost boss Yaksha, like the whole map becomes like his face basically, and he just does damage all around the map. So you can also use that one to pop on the map while you're like walking around looting, so that you keep killing and keep the kill speed high. And it's also an iframe when you activate it and when it goes away. Pretty short,
okay.
But yeah.
Is it like the rope leap? You only have to like invest 1 point into it?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. The duration might change and the cooldown might change and everything a little bit, but it's still pretty strong even at level 1, yeah. Okay. The one catch though is that you have to charge it by having the Ghost Box Yaksha summon at least spawn for I think 2 minutes or something, and then you can use it even if it's off cooldown, right?
Okay.
So it has like a conditional conditional use.
Okay. That shouldn't be a problem with the normal rotation then, I guess.
No, it's more like for bossing when you want to like pre-charge your boss the whole time to make sure that you can use it. 'Cause it's not as reliable as an iframe. It's more like when you're training regular way, you can use it to get like a little bit of extra map clear. Like it's a pretty good skill, but it's not like an amazing skill because there's quite some limitations to it.
Okay.
All right, let's see. Anything else with the Matrix right now that you have any questions about?
No, I don't think. I just need a reminder, and just like which new skills is good and which old skills is bad. I haven't that's stuff that I needed. I think you got that.
Well, I guess you won't. Oh, say okay. Hang on. So !V Matrix in the chat has like a there's like an overview of all the skills in the game and which ones you want to level depending on what class you are.
Oh, okay, cool.
So you can use this to see like for Kanna. So you have a little bit of 1 and 3, and you want to be focusing more on 1 and 2. So the third one, like the Vanquisher Charm and everything like that, you want to just unequip those and focus more on these 6 skills now, basically.
Okay. Yeah.
And then the other thing is Yeah, so certain things like rope lift can have uses in Spirit Saver if you're used to that. But you do have the God, what is it? Shikigami. Is it Shikigami Charm that like helps you jump up? You know the skill I'm talking about? Like you kind of like make a jump up in a little bit of an arc and then you fall really fast.
No, I don't think I've used that.
Okay.
During these 2 days.
So if you want to get to a higher platform, what you can do is you can jump and then use Shikigami Charm and then use up and teleport. And you can get pretty much as high as you need to in any map that rope lift would do otherwise. So that would give you another slot to put in another boost node to get some extra easy levels early on.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I think that I'm doing that like on automatic. What you just told me.
Okay, yeah. So the rope lift, rope lift can have some extra uses in some situations because it can go pretty high. It can go higher than a teleport for sure. Yeah, Shiki Jam, yeah. So, are you doing Spirit Savior?
I used to. I haven't done it like yesterday or today. I just remember it being really boring. But
yeah, really boring, but 10 symbols, so...
yeah, like my Arcana symbol is the lowest one.
Yeah. Did you play when they added the extra daily for Arcana?
I don't think so. I just did the Spirit Saver is the one where you save spirits basically.
Yeah. And then so you can get up to 30,000 points per day. So up to that trades to 10 coins. And then there's also a kill quest with an NPC who's like just to the right of them. You get like the same kill quest that you have in Vanishing Journey, for example. You either have to get drops or have to get kills, and that gets up to 8 symbols a day extra. So you can get a total of up to 18 symbols a day now.
Okay, I didn't know about the last one.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So all the areas up to Arcana have 2 dailies now.
Okay.
So for Vanishing Journey, you have Urda Spectrum and the kills, and those 2 NPCs are standing next to each other. So check that out. For Choo-Choo, you have the Hardmudo that you know, right?
Yeah.
And then the other NPC, the Master Lick, the chef guy, who's like the anteater. He has daily kill quests. He's in the town map, so that's for extra 4 symbols a day. And that's really fast if you have high level areas unlocked, right? It's just one quest a day for 4 symbols, pretty fast.
Yeah, I like the killing quest. It's easy.
Yeah, exactly. It's the best if you get the item quest in Choo-Choo, because those items drop from any monster, so you can go to any map and do it there.
Oh, right.
And then Lacaline has the Dream Defender, right? And then there's one map to the north of Lacaline. Remember where if you did the storyline where the hideout was with the guys with the masks?
Yeah, it was over a year ago, but I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, if you look at the world map, it's just one map north of the town map. Towards the
Dutchline or.
Yeah, it's like towards the alley with the guys with the paper bags and the masks on, the plastic bags on their head. There's an NPC there that gives you the kill quest as well for up to 4 extra symbols a day. And then in Arcana, it's the spirit that's standing in the main map for up to 8 extra symbols a day. So that's
what is the basic quest in Latchline? It's like the arena, right?
Yeah, Dream Defender, to through the floors and get as high as possible. Dream Defender is in a different location now. The NPC that gets you into Dream Defender is in the town map now in the bottom right. So you don't have to go up the tower anymore.
Is 30 still the max level? Or is there any max level? Maybe I just reached 30 and I couldn't get above it. So
there's no max level. Some people clear. Okay. I think in Reboot, you see those people, those 5 people to the left of the tower. Those people they reached the highest floors last week, and then after you do your 3 runs of Dream Defender, you can talk to them, and then you get extra coins from them every day.
Okay.
And they clear I think they clear like floor 130 or 140 or something.
I just remember the number 30. I don't know if I did 30.
Well, you get I'm trying to think. Well, in Spirit Savior, you can get 30 coins a day. Maybe you're confusing it with that, maybe? And you get also you get
yeah.
one you get symbol every 3 coins. So maybe that's I don't know. Maybe confused with that. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll just try it out later tonight anyway. So.
Yeah, so if you're going for if you're pretty strong, if you're going for a climb and everything, there's a lot of buffs that you can use, right? Longer buffs. The main thing, are you aware of the changes with guild skills and guild buffs?
No. Or yeah, I saw it's some pretty heavy buffs from the guilds, but I haven't seen them. I just heard about it.
Yeah, so the guild skills before went up to up to like 20%, and now they go up to 30%, and they added a critical damage skill that goes up to 30% critical damage.
Okay.
Which is nuts. It's so much damage.
I will try desperately to find a guild then.
Yeah. Well, I have a guild, so if you want to join, let me know.
Yeah, sure.
If you !guild in the chat. If you apply, we can get you in. You have to wait 24 hours to be able to use the skills. And then depending on how good the rankings are of the guild in the week, the guild gets more skill points. So you have to do like flag race and guild PQ we do it on Sundays.
Okay.
And then you basically just kill some monsters and then go to a big boss and then do as much damage to the boss as possible. And then based on the ranking of all the guilds, you get skill points distributed. And then next Monday you put the skill points in again for that week, basically.
Okay.
But yeah, usually like if you put some work in for the guild, usually you can fill out 2 guild skills, which means that you can get like 30% damage and 30% critical damage for 30 minutes, and they have 1 hour cooldown. So you have 30-minute uptime with both, and then 30-minute downtime. Yeah, or you can alternate between the 2 when you're training, so that you always have one of the 2 up, so you can get way more damage when you're training.
Okay.
Which is so being in a guild for that is going to be very helpful too.
Oh yeah.
And then if you're trying to rush Dream Defender, you're trying to push floors, right? Because as soon as you clear 40, then you can do 40 every day, right? And if you clear 50, you can do 50 every day, and it gives you like
you just have to do like 50 once, right? And then you have to do 1 level above to get like the.
Yeah, so let's say that
you
so let's say that you cleared 50 and then you fail 51, and then you go again, you go in again in 50 and you clear 50, and then you fail 51 again, then you get the 50. You always get the amount of points. Well, no coins. You get the amount of coins that you did. That's the same number as the highest floor that you cleared.
Okay.
For every run, yeah. So it's not like you get 1 and then +2, +3, +4, +5, but you just get what was the highest floor that you cleared before you failed, and then you get that many coins for that run.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So it's best to work your way up to a multiple of 10, and then if you can't go beyond that, it's fine. Then just go into that floor, clear it, and then wait until you load into the next one. Don't leave too quickly, because then you lose that run, right? If you go into 50 and you don't clear 50, you get 0. So you want to make sure that you load into one that you can clear. And then when you make a big upgrade, and you use your guild skills again, a bunch of buffs, and maybe, crazy guild skills, crazy boost nodes, all of that, then maybe you can push a little bit higher, and then, every day you do that again.
Okay.
It's better than, let's say that you can clear like 44. It's not very good to go into 40 and then do 41, 42, 43, 44 every day, because you're just getting like 3 more coins, but you're taking 4 times the amount of time. So it's not very time efficient.
So I'm just doing the 40 and then just leaving to get the 40 coins.
Yeah, exactly. Clear 40 out,
yeah.
Clear 40 out. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
So we know about the extra dailies, about the symbols, and about Matrix, I think? Or is there something else about the Matrix?
No, that should be fine. I just had needed a quick recap.
Yeah.
I should be able to read a lot of things as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Sharp Eyes can be pretty useful. Mainly, so if you get into a guild and you do have the critical damage available to you, it'll be very important to get your critical rate to 100% so that you can take max benefit of that critical rate, right? Of that critical damage, right? Otherwise, it won't apply if you don't have a 100% crit rate.
Okay, so my basic crit rate.
Yeah, your buffed crit rate with 100% uptime. That's the most important number to look at.
Okay. I'm at like 59%, I think.
Yeah, so with decent sharp eyes, you could be at 69. Nice. And then you need 31 more. So we'll need to check some stuff like your hyperstats. Is 8 in critical rate. Okay, that's good to know. But you do
I
have...
do not have anything on the gloves, but I still have the pencilaire gloves though.
Well, the gloves is critical damage, if you can get it.
Right, okay.
So that is important damage, but again, that's more important if you have 100% crit rate first. Otherwise, you won't get the full efficiency from the critical damage. The thing with Kanna, it's a bit weird, because if you're training, you're farming, a lot of your damage is coming from your summons, and your summons cannot crit. So for that, it's a little bit weird. But if you're doing something like Dream Defender and you're like, you're flying around and you're doing all the damage, maybe the summons aren't doing as much, then you want to make sure that your crit rate is very high. And also for bossing later on, of course, for all of your damage and Vanquisher Charm, and do extra damage while charging your domain, that kind of stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
So I do have a command for that with like exclamation mark crit, has links to critical rate sources and critical damage sources. So you can use that as a guideline. A lot of crit rate comes from hyperstats, Legion, and Link skills. So I think we can.
I think my Legion is. My Legion grid is for crit as well.
Yeah. So in the picture you have critical damage, IED, and then int and magic attack, right?
Yeah.
We have 2 free setups now for 2 free presets for Legion that you can use. So typically what people do, either you use one for your main and one for mules, or and that's usually what you use around this until you get to like 6k Legion or something. And then once you have a lot of characters you can put in your Legion, usually what people do is they make one setup for magic users and one for non-magic users, because there's a lot of characters that give intellect in their member bonus, and you don't want those in your grid when you're playing like a warrior, but you do want them in there when you're playing a mage. So in the beginning you make your presets based on where the pieces are, and then later on you'll make the presets based on which characters are on the board.
Okay, but I will probably just use mine for the Kanna.
Yeah.
Mostly anyway. So should I just rebuild it for the crit rate instead of crit damage then? Or
well, we want crit damage as well, but crit rate is more important, right? Because without crit rate, crit damage does not apply all the time. So one thing that we will definitely want to do with your grid is take points out of either magic attack or intellect and fill out crit rate first. That's going to be the most important. So there's a tool under Legion. I'll send you the... I'll open it on stream, but I'll send you the link in Discord.
Yeah, cool. I'm watching meanwhile, so...
Yep.
Perfect, thank you.
So what we want, so we will do region click, and region click does like the whole region, and then if you tick that off, you just do a single box basically. If you click it again, it deselects. So what we want is something like this to start off with, right? So on the left side, you will have to enter, I don't have those numbers, right? But on the left side, you'll have to enter like all of the characters you have and how big their pieces are. And this will basically help you. So if you just click start, oh, no solution found. That's probably because this, and there is no archer. Maybe we need like 8 archer pieces or something. Oh, that's interesting that you can't do that. Maybe we'll do like 4 of these. Oh, there we go. And then it says like, if there's no solution, there's no solution then. This is pretty specific, right? And so here it'll tell you like how many spaces you can fill, how many pieces you have and everything. So let's say that you have a bunch more now. If you have more, then you can just do like reset, and you're like, oh, I want to fill these as well. And I have like enough to fill this, for example, and you click start, and then boom, it'll just do this. And then you can just follow them and put them in.
Okay, so basically I will just mainly focus to get as much as possible in crit rate and crit damage.
Yeah, because your crit rate is very low as a Kanna.
Yeah.
So anything, it's like the easiest access to crit rate that you have right now. So it's, I believe it's 6 and 7, so 13%, right, extra that you could get. And then with the decent sharp eyes, so that's 23 extra. So then we're already at 82%.
But so the sharp eyes, is that from the matrix?
Yeah, if you use decent sharp eyes in the matrix, yeah, that gives you 10% crit rate and 8% critical damage.
So it's instead of like the holy symbol. I have the decent holy symbol from the priest, I guess, or from the bishop.
Well, I
Is
would
that
keep
the
the
same
decent
thing?
holy symbol, but let's say that we switch that one out with either the
Rope lift, like
yeah, either rope lift or the fuck this skill
Night
name
Ghost.
now. Well, we want to replace the Night Ghost boost node and the Vanquisher Charm one with another one that also gives with a different boost node that boosts either your Yaksha or your Tengu, right? Or your Exorcist Charm, but not the one that boosts that. So we don't want to switch it out with a completely different skill. We want to switch it out. So I would probably, I think it'd be good if you use your domain. You might not have to use your summon lady, maybe.
The Yuki
Yeah, the Yuki.
thing.
I think you would keep Yuki.
Like I'm not using the rope lift.
No. Yeah, so I would get rid of Mana Overload and Rope Lift, and I would put in decent Sharp Eyes and a different boost node, and then I would replace, I think, yeah, the Vanquisher Charm boost node that has Charm boost node and Night Ghost Guide, and replace that one with another boost node, one that has the other skills that we do want.
Okay.
So, like, for now, and then once you level up and you get access to another slot, maybe you could put in another boost node. And just pile on more boost nodes to get a lot of free extra levels, basically. And then once you start reaching level 60, then you start changing up again, like, and you start min-maxing, like, these 3 skills on this boost node, these 3 skills on this one, and you start making the puzzle of all of the skills together. But in the beginning, you can just be, like, 2 out of 3. You know, as long as the top skill is good, you can always fuse it into another node later if you get like a better setup, right? You know how that works?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So as long, yeah, it's okay to have one skill on like 3 or 4 or even 5 boost nodes in the beginning, as long as later on you know what the ultimate goal is that you're going for, and then you can start condensing them, and that way you don't lose too much experience. But it's once the top node is the wrong one, right, and you have to extract, that's when you lose a lot of progress. So you want to avoid that.
So basically the first goal is to get rid of the active rope lift skill and get the sharp eye.
Yeah, that would be an easy thing that you could do immediately, okay. Yeah. And the other thing would be to go through your boost nodes that you have, see if there's anything there that's really useful. I don't know. Probably open the boost nodes that you have, right? And see if there's anything useful there. Maybe some Ghost Boss, Yaksha, Tengu, Exorcist Charm, something like that would be really good. But just make sure that in the beginning you don't look too restricted. You definitely want to plan around the 3 that you already have, but the most important thing about the 3 that you already have is just their top skill, because the other ones can just be switched out very easily.
Okay, yeah.
So that's how you want to look at your boost nodes. And as long as you plan around those 3 with your other ones, and then remember you can look at the grid, right, with the skills here for the trinodes, and then just try to, you know, make the puzzle match. The sooner you lock in a skill, the longer it'll take you to find the last perfect puzzle piece. The more you keep it open and keep more nodes available to you, the faster you will be done finding all the pieces. And then you can just smash everything together, extract everything that you don't need. And one thing that Kanna can do, I don't know if you did that before, but is you can get a lot of value out of crafting boost nodes with your shards. Have you ever done that?
Yeah, I think I did that back in the days. Yeah.
Because if you have like a lot of skill nodes you want to level, a lot of boost nodes you want to level, then there are so many possibilities that a node stone gives you something you can use and you don't have to extract. So then you get more value that way. The one downside is that Kanna gets a lot of benefit from maxing out domain. It's very, very good. Extra duration and helps a lot in bossing as well. So a lot of people want to focus leveling that instead. So that's kind of up to you. It'll depend in the next 5, 10, 15 levels. If you join a guild, if you want to start joining parties, you want to do more bosses and that kind of stuff, then maybe it'll be better to just make skill nodes for domain instead and focus on leveling that first, and then just craft boost nodes or craft node stones, or, you know, if you just want to level up everything more evenly. That'll kind of depend on how your game evolves in the next week or 2.
Okay.
Okay. That one. Yeah, so for Legion, in general, I don't know what you missed. Did all of the explorers already have link skills last time you played? The thief.
Like the link, I was playing as I really had no life in leveling characters. What people told me to level because it was a good. To be honest, I had like no idea.
Okay.
I just leveled a lot.
Leveled a lot.
I
Okay.
did 140 on like everything I thought was boring, and I kept going on some of them.
Okay. Yeah. So you have 24 characters now, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So the Legion level that you have, total level on the top right, so that's the total of the 40 characters that you have with the highest levels that are at least level 60. So the next 16 characters that you get to over level 60, their levels will immediately count.
Okay, yeah, I did all my characters to 140 at least.
So if you make 16 more to 140, you're looking at like over 5k Legion already.
Okay. Yeah.
So once you hit 4k, you get an extra grid on the box, an extra box on the grid. That's what I wanted to say. And then at 5,000 an extra, and then at 6,000 you have the whole grid available. So that will help you get even more critical rate, you know, for now, until you can get critical rate from other stuff, and then you can move the pieces around again, and extra critical damage, so that you can just do way more damage. The other thing that you have some points into is IED is also nice. But if you're mainly just focusing on leveling and stuff, then the IED points there don't really do much. So that's more if you're bossing. And then we will definitely have to look at IED, and we'll do that in a little bit, to make sure that you can deal enough damage to bosses. But
I think my IED is kind of low now, to be honest.
Yeah, well, so that's the main thing. So Kanna has a lot of really good stuff, a really strong class. What they lack is critical rate, IED, and knockback resistance. Those are the main things that they don't have. But they have everything else really well. So for knockback resistance, the Mihail is really good for the Link skill. So that if you don't have that one yet, that might be something really useful to get. And then for critical...
I think I have that.
Yeah. And then for critical rate and for IED, so you rely on that, like I said before, from your hyperstats, and then your Legion and your Link skills. And then crit rate a little bit from the Matrix as well. So I'll send you this. This is basically my advice on like which characters to level first and which ones to level later for your Legion and your Links. So you can see all of their stats that they give for Legion and Link are all on one big grid. And because of how important the stats is and when they start applying to your character, because of that order, they basically organize themselves in the first column for level of usefulness, basically. So you just go through all of the yellow ones, right? If you have that, then you have very solid mobbing. You have like insane boss mobbing, basically. And then
I think I have all of the yellow.
Okay, that's good.
Like the Archmage and Battle Mage. Oh, the Battle Mage is not there. But
yeah, Battle Mage is just below it, because that's when you get into the blue area. And that's when you get a lot of help from bossing. So that's more like specifically boss damage, IED, survivability, you know, on the resistance skills, that kind of stuff. And then the knockback immunity from the Mihail is just behind that. And then there's the stuff that does like a little bit, there's like a little bit of healing. And then there's stats that are useful. And a lot of these will help you as well, but they're not good for everyone, so that's why they're here. So for that, you'll be mainly using, you'll be looking at the intellect column. And there's quite a few mages there that give you intellect. So if you add all of that up, that's quite nice anyway, because like level 140 gives you 40. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 characters, so that's almost 300 intellect already.
Yeah, I think I have like 80 intellect alone from my 220 Lumi.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, yeah, a 200 gives 80, yeah. So so that's almost 300, but if you get them to 200 instead, then it doubles. So that's so usually you get like an army of 140s. You just make one of everything basically, and they get them all to 140, and then you'll have a few characters that are higher because of events, because of previous mains, etc. And then that's how you basically get 6k Legion, which is a very solid amount, and that'll basically just carry you and help you get to level 250 basically. And mainly because it gives you access to the full grid, and it can help you with your critical rate, your critical damage, and then once you need less of that, with your IED and maybe a little bit with your boss damage. But most of the time, you just go as much crit rate as you need to get to 100%, full crit damage, and then as much IED as you have room for, or as much as you need. And then if you have any left, it goes into boss damage, basically. That's like the order in general.
Okay, so basically what I want to do now is a straight line from intellect and magic attack to, or a straight line from magic attack to crit rate, crit damage, and then over to IDE.
Yeah, usually use mage pieces or archer pieces just like flat to connect critical damage and critical rate through the middle. Then fill out crit rate and crit damage, and then what's ever left now, you just throw like kind of like the square you have with intellect and magic attack, but it'll be much less because so like 13, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. So you have like you'll be able to fill like one of those, I think. Which is probably intellect.
Start with straight out and just make the crit rate and crit damage, and then you feel like just fill the rest.
Yeah, you can use this one, right? The one that I showed you, because it also saves like how many pieces you put in. And then whenever you add a piece or a piece becomes bigger, if you change it, and you just click reset and start, boom, it'll just immediately give you like another solution. I would only use this if you're doing like a major change. So if you either get way more characters to put in, or if you get a bigger grid size, right? You might say like, okay, I'm just going to move like five pieces now through where strength is now and put it into critical rate and just switch strength and magic attack. And then just leave it there until I get the 4K Legion and the grid gets bigger, and then I'll do it. And then, because then I have to move everything, right? So that could be, that could be a better temporary solution before you move all of the pieces around.
Okay.
That all make sense? With the order, with the characters, the
levels? I think I know where to start at least.
Yeah. So with crits, that will mean that we will get to, so 59, 69, 13, so 82%, right? So we can get a little bit more from hyperstats. That's something we keep in mind. We're not immediately going to throw points in there, but that's something to keep in mind. Link skills. What are you using now for link skills?
I just watched them and I see I have all the links linked to an alt. But I did switch them right now so I can see.
So which the crit ones is Phantom, Beast Tamer, and the Explorer Archers. Do you have any of those?
I'm using the Fury Unleashed from I have no idea. Oh, that's boss damage, sorry. I have
that's the Demon
crit
Slayer.
Damage, the Judgment. Crit damage 4%.
That's from Kinesis,
Yeah, and I have Phantom Instinct, 15% crit rate.
Nice. So that would get us to 97. And do you have a Beast Tamer?
I don't.
Okay, that's fine. Remember, Beast Tamers are limited. That's probably why, because they're limited in creation to only certain times during the year. So if you only play for like a while, for like a month or so every year, then you might always just miss when they're available for creation. It's typically around the summer and around the winter that they can be made. So if you do see them available for creation, always make one so that you can just level it whenever you want. And also, the one other thing is that Zero is also available now on Reboot. That's why you'll also see it on the list, but Zero, just like Beast Tamer, is also limited creation. However, in KMS, they made it so that for Reboot, Zero can be now created always. So we're currently in, I don't know what update we're currently in, but we have, so we have whatever we have now already, right, with the events, and then we have One Droid coming after this. Remember, that's with the heart. So that'll be really good if you can get that. And then after that, we have the anniversary event, if everything goes well. So with like Ping Bean stuff. And that will also have a shop. We're getting a little bit sidetracked, but we'll circle back to the crit rate. We'll have a shop as well where you can buy droplets so that you can, go faster into getting arcane stuff. So that might be something to save up money for. It'll be 5 bill to buy out all the droplets. So keep that in mind.
Okay, yeah.
And then after that, we should have Neo, which is like the big, our big summer update. And that'll have 2 shops where you can buy out the droplets again. So together with the Maple Hotel and Neo, again, I say we'll have, in all likelihood, it's possible, that they switch some things around. But in all likelihood, they should have 2 shops. So for those 2 events in total, 150 droplets of each kind. So a total of 300, which is really, really big. And one of those shops will also be purchased, like Maple Hotel, and then the other one is with points from the event, from doing dailies and stuff like that. So keep that in mind, because in general, this has made it, and also the drop rate. I'm giving you a lot of information, but keep up.
Yeah. I'm trying to.
The other thing is that they increased the drop rate from the arcane equips from Hard Loosen and Hard Will by quite a bit, and the drop rate from droplets has also gone up. So with all of this in mind, typically people don't go as hard, or I would advise at least for people to not go as hard into Abzo anymore. You still want to get Abzo and you still want to upgrade it. But in the past, I would have always said, just get like 20 or 21 star Abzo and don't worry about arcane gear because it's too hard to get. You know, it's too much investment. It takes hours and thousands of hours of farming and everything.
Yeah, I have 10 droplets.
Yeah,
right
and that's like normal around your level in the past. But now some people, if they, you know, with all of the stuff and like they're funded and they have drop rate from the beginning and they train to like 260, they can have like over 200.
Okay, so I will probably get a lot of them with my drop rate now.
Yes, yeah. So that's the other reason why once you start really killing quickly and you can really get settled in Arcana, that's why we want to, at that point, work a little bit more on your drop rate then, because maybe the amount of money you make isn't that as important. We want to make sure that you get those droplets in, but before your character leaves the area. Because the other thing that's happening in Neo is that when your character dies, you're no longer going to lose experience. So what a lot of people do now is they get to 247, so they don't lose Mezzo, right, from the level difference in Arcana, and then they just keep farming, and when they're about to level, they just suicide their character to get down to 0%, and then they keep farming. So they can make a lot of the droplets to make the equips from the Lucid shop. Because all the areas, so on top of the drop rate changes, they added the droplets from Will to all the areas past Esfera. So there's a new area Celas at level 240. You might have seen it on the world map.
Yeah, so the same droplets drops in like the...
As in Esfera.
They're like the first map, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so Esfera, so that's the ones you have to use in the Will shop. So the only items we want from the Will shop is the shoulder and the weapon. So people never make the weapon anymore with the droplets from the Lucid area because you have to get the shoe and the cape and, you know, you have to get 3 items there. So if you remember from getting Abzo gear, it's very similar to the shop from Lotus and from Damien, where the Damien shop, you get the weapon and the shoulder, and then you get the shoe, the glove, and the cape from the Lotus shop. So it's very similar. The Lotus shop is like the Lucid shop, and the Damien shop is like the Will shop. So it's easy to remember that way.
Okay. Yeah, I hesitated there as well, yes, because I wanted to cube items, so I got like the shoulders and the boots, Abso first. And I still have the Pencilaire gloves and I have Tyrant cloak.
Yeah, so typically glove is a good upgrade because when you do get that upgrade, that's when you go hard for the critical damage. But remember, we want to make sure that you get the critical rate, all of that settled first. But once that's settled, then... Yeah?
Yeah, sorry.
No, go for it.
But how many droplets do I need to make the gloves?
So yes, so I don't know if you were playing then, but they also decreased how many coins you need to make the weapons, and also how many droplets go into 1 coin. So it's 9 droplets per coin now, and the equips, oh god, I always get this wrong. I believe is 12.
So I can make 1. I have the Arcane River Droplet Stone. Is that like that? That's the
yeah. So
one, right?
you need to drop from the area, and then you need to drop that drops from Lucid, and then you put them together. So 9 area drops and 1 Lucid drop, and you put those together for 1 coin, and then you need.
Which area is the glove?
That's in the Lucid shop. So it's the same as the Lotus. So it's the glove, the cape, and the shoe. Those come from the same shop. Those you want to get from the Lucid shop. So that means that those are the droplets that you get from Lachaline, Arcana, and Morass. But typically...
So my Arcane River Droplet Stone is like... I'm sorry if I misunderstand, but that's what I can use for the gloves. So with my 9 droplets, I can make 1 coin, and I have to make 12.
Yeah, if you also have a Lucid drop. So remember with Lotus, like you did like the dailies, but then you have to combine it with one of the cores that drops from Lotus himself to turn it into a coin. So it's the same way in... in the other areas, yeah. So you need 12
so instead of
coins.
The dailies, where you get like the diffusion line energy core grade.
Yeah, instead of that, you have to farm for all of them.
Okay.
It's they also drop from the monsters, but it's like having the Scrapyard and Dark World Tree without the weeklies, but just only.
Okay.
Oh yeah, so those are weeklies now, not dailies anymore. I don't know if you played during that.
The trees are.
Yeah, Dark World Tree and Scrapyard is now weeklies.
Okay. So should it be like? Is it worth for me to create the gloves? Because the gloves is from the white ones, right? Not the red ones. Like. Diffusion line.
Oh, the colors. Diffusion. Yeah, the diffusion. Yeah, the Scrapyard ones. Yeah.
And how many do you need for the gloves now? Because I have 6 of the grade A, like the small ones. I have no one from the boss.
You need 20 for Abzo. You need 20 per coin.
Okay.
And you need 2 coins for every equip, except for weapon is 5. So you need 40 in total.
Okay, and 2 drops from the bosses.
Yeah, and 2 drops from Lotus, yeah.
Is that possible to get in like 1 week, or no?
Not on one character. I believe one character gives... Oh god, I keep forgetting. I think it's 12 or 13, I think, per week. But you can do it on multiple characters and share it through the cash shop. So you could do it on your Lumi, do it on your Kanna, and then do it again next week and you'll have enough. 12 a week, yeah.
Oh, so I have 6 already, so if I...
Yeah, so you could get 24, so you'll be at 30.
I have another level 200, so I can possibly do it 3 times this week.
Yeah, this is a good thing also to like ask around with people and see if you can exchange it, because a lot of people have like a Kanna that's like 205 or something, but they can't really do all the quests themselves. But if you take their Kanna, you Kishin, and then they take your Kanna, kind of like exchange it. A lot of times that'll help. That helps people out very quickly. Okay. Yeah.
So it might be worth for me to make the Abzo gloves before the arcane.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
Kind of close,
yeah. So we want to make sure that the crit rate is like all settled, but I think with the with a little bit of crit like here and there, with putting the crit in your board and then with the Phantom Link and all of that, I think we can get you to 100%. So that's when the critical damage will start getting really, really good. Okay. It'll make your range go down, right? Because you want to go for critical damage over stat, and right now you have 18% stat on your glove, so it'll maybe make your range go down, but your damage will go up. So that's the most important part. Okay. The one thing extra is that they changed the when it went to dailies to weeklies, they changed the quests quite a bit. So make sure you check !dailies. I don't know if you've ever seen this. But like I have all of the things that you can do, all of the bosses, the daily content and everything is on here.
Yeah, that was the thing like a year ago as well, right? I think I have that saved.
Yeah. So if you check for Scrapyard, right, you have the link here. And then it'll go to the redirect. And then here it'll show you, you can do like, I think simplified. And it'll show you like, these quests are good to keep because they're like really fast. And then these ones are shitty and you want to reroll.
Okay.
To make sure that you don't, waste hours of your life that you don't have to.
Yeah, I think that was like one thing why I don't have the gloves, because the quest was really boring.
Yeah, no, I could totally feel it. I'm horrible with those weeklies. I haven't done them in a long time. And then, if I need something, I just go on like 8 characters and do them like just grind super hard for a little bit and then just never go back until I need another item, basically. Yeah. But
I think like with the gloves is the weak spot for me, so I guess I have to get that done.
Yeah, because you have decent speed infusion, which doesn't really do much for you as a Kanna anyway, so it's not super important anyway.
Yeah, I think I just kept it for the 18%.
Yeah, for sure. And once you start building up the set bonus for Abzo, that'll be really nice. Wait, so you showed one fan. Is that your main weapon that you're using?
Oh yeah, I forgot for my Hako I got the Sweetwater Wind. I think I heard that was the best one for. Yeah. Up until here, that's good. Yeah, is it like 17 star and like all legendary also, or 17 stars and 23% magic attack? Okay, yeah, that's really and nice. 30% IED, but I don't think that's a thing, right? That's a grayed out. It's grayed out. Doesn't count because it's on Haku. Yeah. So like the only thing that counts is the magic attack, or what? Yeah, so the magic attack on the potential, that's what counts there, and it just counts as normal. And then if you summon Haku, you get a buff on your top right, that's like a red fox face. Yeah.
That gives you passive magic attack, and that gives you a percentage of the total magic attack of your fan. So,
Okay. So
that's why
23% is kind of good, right? I should keep
yeah,
that.
yeah, that's really good. Yeah, so yeah, it kind of depends on the situation. Typically, what people do is whenever they get like a new main fan, so like the next one for you would be an Absolab fan, right? Either you equip the Absolab fan and then put your Fafnir fan onto Haku, but in your case, I think that'll pretty much be like for Haku, it'll almost be exactly the same. I think. You can always try to like switch them and see what happens, right? It is actually possible for you in your situation that switching your weapons around,
maybe because the IED 30% is with.
Yeah, your damage to bosses
attack.
might actually go up. I think if you switch, even if you drop 30% boss, but you gain 30% IED, you could actually gain way more damage. But once we get everything else sorted out and the Legion and the links and all of that,
but do I drop 30% boss or what?
For now, I wouldn't do that. Because most of the bosses that you're killing now don't have that much defense anyway.
Where do I drop the 30% boss, you mean?
The set bonus for Fafnir, if you were to switch, if you were to switch the weapons, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because the Sweetwater has the same basic stats on it, but no set bonus, of course.
Okay, yeah, got it.
Yeah, that's another thing. You know, if you're rolling it and it ends up being like more of a Kanna candidate or more of a Haku candidate, then sometimes you just switch them over.
Okay, yeah.
So the next step will also be able to get the Absolab fan, right? Because it's a lot of magic attack on there. That'll be really big. And then, so yeah, I would probably just like once you get that and you want to work on it, before you start working on it, I would check if you want to. Well, we have the compensation arcane weapon now. I wonder if you're also gonna main this. I wonder if it's a good idea to do that. I don't think you're gonna gain much from it with what you already have.
Well, if we just stay at the Abso upgrade thing, I should first do the gloves, right, and then do the weapon.
Yeah, but I'm thinking for the Abso weapon, because part of the compensation now is also an arcane weapon box.
Oh, right, cool. Okay.
Which is nice, but it's like a fake version, you know, like the fake Absolab from the events. So it comes as 15 stars. Oh, so it has locked potential. It has 35% boss damage, 12 damage, and 12 critical rate. But you can never re-roll that, and it has 15 stars, and you cannot star force it. So.
Okay. And so I lose the set bonus as well.
Yeah, and you lose the set bonus as well. So it would be nice, but I think in your situation, it's better to just go... because this one is already so well upgraded. Yeah, it would be a placeholder. You're kind of like in between... Like you cannot give it to Haku, right? Because the potential will do nothing, and that's really bad.
Yeah.
You could use it as your main weapon.
But it gives 0 magic attack, right? Like the percentage.
No % magic attack, no. But the base magic attack on it is like nuts. Okay. I think it's 400 or something.
Alright, okay.
Let me double check. It's 347, yeah. So
yeah, plus the 15 stars.
Yeah, 15 stars. It has 10% IED on it. Extra, so it's a 20%.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and the flames will get crazy high as well. You can easily get like... Yeah,
the flaming, I haven't done any flaming.
Yeah, it's something you do more kind of on the side as you just get them from bosses. Yeah, like a tier 6 magic attack flame is 167 magic attack on the arcane. So that's basically like
increasing my magic attack by like 200.
Yeah, so you will lose the set bonus though, right? Which is 50 magic attack. And all the percentage.
Can I claim it, or do I lose something else if I claim the weapon?
Well, if you claim the weapon, so it's not so much that you lose it, but well, there's some things you lose, but you will get stronger now. The question is, how long do you get stronger from it, and would another character be able to use it for longer, right? That's kind of the question that I'm thinking of. If you don't really care and you don't think there's any other character that can really benefit from it, just you can just go ahead, and then we don't have to get
go ahead and get in and just try it out, right?
Yeah, but you can only claim it once, right? So if you get the box here, you get the
I
weapon.
don't mind
here.
about the other characters, to be honest.
Yeah, if you don't care, then just get it. Yeah, the one thing.
Is it like a gift for all our heroes? Is that what I click, or?
Yeah, and then you click the Arcane Umbra box there, and then I think you have to specifically click like exchange to say for sure. Well, he's going to be using his Kanna as a main for bossing, Matt. That's why.
Okay.
The other thing
can choose a lot of different things though, like the level potions and things, or arcane symbols.
Yeah. So for
get them all.
Well, before all of that, I would say definitely look at the video first that I made. It goes more in depth with all the items because you have a lot of time to request those. And as soon as you pick them up now, their timers will start running. And some items have short timers, but some items have very long timers. So you can use them a little bit more strategically if you plan a little bit.
But okay, but I can only choose from one of these items.
No, you can pick all of them. You get all of them.
Okay. Like, but you said something about the Dominator Pendant.
Yeah, there's also a Dominator Pendant Box in there. I think you see that one, right?
Yeah.
That's another item that you can get, but that has a shorter duration, and it's also like the arcane. It's also locked with how you can upgrade it.
Also, the item is not like the item has a time experience.
No, it doesn't expire in time, but it is limited in the same way as the arcane, where it comes with certain amount of potential and Star Force, and you cannot reroll that. Yeah.
Okay.
So I would, so you can pick up. I think it's fine to pick up the arcane for your situation. For most people, I would be a little bit more picky, but I think for your situation, it's fine. The one thing you can check between if you equip the arcane, between whether you equip your Fafnir or your Sweetwater on your Haku, whether it makes a difference, because I think it might be possible that the Fafnir might be a little bit stronger because the extra 9% intellect, and because the flame is also probably better than on the Sweetwater, because the Sweetwater doesn't have flame advantage, right? So the magic attack there is probably pretty bad.
Okay. But like the arcane symbols is huge then for me, since I'm kind of low level.
Yeah, so you want to make sure that you use it at the right area, right? Because so we talked about all of the extra dailies in all the areas up to Arcana. Past Arcana, once you get to Morass and Asphera, those areas only have one daily for 8 symbols max. So those areas level the slowest, and you unlock them the last as well. So the best thing to get like the most total arcane force, or arcane power, I mean, from all of the symbols would be to use them in Morass and Asphera. And to get there, you can make use of the level up potions and of training and of the box with triple experience coupons as well.
Okay, so I should level manually to 230, or should I use the potion to 230 and then use the arcane symbols to max them up?
Honestly, that's all up to you. So the potions give 1 level within the level range that they show, and then if you use it above that, they give the same amount of experience as they would on the highest level. So like 219 to 220 or 229 to 230, depending on which ones it is.
Okay.
So I think it's fine to use them at like the last 3 levels of the decimal to get those last 3 levels, because that's pretty much how much they would give anyway. So you can go to the next area faster, unlock the next symbol faster, and then once you get to Asphera, once you get 235, then you can throw in all the symbols, and then you can really see a lot of damage increase with all the stuff that we've been working on, and then you should be killing way faster in Arcana, right? And then you make sure that you fix up the accessories like we said, and then you should be making a lot of droplets. And then you can decide, do you go hard on this Kanna and get it like full arcane, or do you make so many nodes and so many droplets, and are you like okay with this one that you actually want to fund another character with it? At that point you'll be making so much money and everything that you can also throw it on another character and go hard there if you want to.
Okay. So where, if I heard something about like 230 is a good level for Kanna to start farming. But where should I farm my droplets if that's what I want to focus on right now?
It would be either in Lachaline or in Arcana. There's a few maps that like lend themselves very well to Kanna, but it would depend, like I said before, like with the Tengu, right? Some maps are easier with Tengu, and then you drag those through the map. So those will be bigger horizontal maps. I don't know the exact names, but they're like more in the bottom left of Arcana. And then there's some other small maps, smaller maps where you just put the summons and you just use Exorcist Charm instead to like clear the map, and then you rely more on Exorcist Charm boost nodes, and then that's a bit of a smaller map that basically all of Domain can completely kill. I don't know the exact names. Some people use yeah, there's a bunch of maps in Lachaline that are very lazy maps.
Wherever, like if I find a good map, I can do it in Lachaline or Arcana.
Yeah. It's just in general, just wherever you kill more monsters per time, that's where you'll have the most chance of getting the most droplets, right?
Okay.
That's the main thing to keep in mind, I guess. Oh yeah, so
Right.
people are saying Outlaw Street 2 and 3 and Rev 1 are good maps in Lachaline. Some people are saying in the chat.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
I think that's the bottom right branch, I think. In
Yeah,
Lachaline.
and I'll voice like the straight up.
Like these here.
But it doesn't
Oh
matter.
no, these ones. Yeah,
range,
true. Mm-hmm.
Or does that matter?
Does what matter,
If I
sorry?
If I hit 230,
Mm-hmm.
does my level range like...
No, that's like a common thing that people... I think it's other MMOs that do that. If you're over-leveled, you will get less experience and you'll get less mezzo. But all the other stuff stays the same for dropping.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people do Chicken Festival 1 as well. That's like the first map with the Galinas. The first map to the left, I think, of the town map. You can put like the... It's very easy. You put like Kishin in the bottom right, and then you stand on the left side, and you put your ghost boss Yaksha facing the right, and then you just spam Exorcist Charm, and the whole map basically just dies.
Oh yeah, that's what I did.
You probably did that before. Yeah. That one still works. It's either that or the dudes with the masks on their head, or you go to slightly bigger maps, and then bigger maps you can kill more monsters, but you have to be more active and more moving around and more Tengu, stuff like that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, quick public service announcement. If you are trying to claim your Mungie coins, if you have like quite a bit over 100 in your inventory, you cannot redeem them. So if you're planning on redeem them 100 at a time and then open them. Don't get them all at once because they'll be stuck. They'll probably fix it later, but you'll have to wait for your money, which sucks for Matt because he had like 48 bill in in coins, which probably he can't redeem any of them now, so that kind of sucks. Yeah, so gloves, and then so weapon, I guess you can just completely let go. What you could do is go for the hat for the set bonus, because you're
hat?
Yeah.
Okay.
You could do that, but remember when you do that, then you break the 40 magic attack as well. So it's only once you have the full set complete, because then you get the 5 set from Abzo, right, to cancel out the 4 set. The 3 set from CRA, but that's more for bossing. So I would only do that if you want to make sure that you really want to like min-max your damage with bossing with this guy. Until then, you can just keep your current setup because the magic attack will be good at both.
Okay, so yeah, and the gloves doesn't matter because they're cancellary anyway.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't break any set. So the main thing I think that we haven't talked about, but otherwise we covered pretty much everything, I think, is just your IED, right?
Yeah.
Because right now, where can I see?
I think
your
my ID kind of low. Maybe I missed that. I can see.
Oh no, here it is. Yeah, so it looks at 74. So for ID, I also have dude. I have a command for everything, bro. Sources for ID, yeah. So yeah, usually we go through like the whole list, but I kind of need to go to the bathroom, and we're already over an hour and a half, so we're gonna go through it a little bit more quickly, if you don't mind.
Yeah, no worries, no worries.
So there's this thing that you can use to calculate yourself. I'll link it to you. Where basically you put in all the sources that you have, and it'll tell you what functionally your IED is. So there's a difference between visual and functional.
Okay.
Do you know about all of that already, or do I can explain?
No, but you don't have to explain. I can read that. There's no worries.
Yeah, well, basically the game doesn't count for everything in your stat window. So there's certain things that work all the time, but your stat window can't count them because it depends on, it's an on-hit effect. It's not always on, basically.
Okay.
So you have to, if you know that something has 100% uptime, and you can always get the on-hit effect, then you have to calculate them in as if you will have them. Otherwise, you will go too much IED, right? And you probably know from other video games, like IEDs, like the penetration. If you go full-on penetration but no damage, all your damage goes through, but there's no damage to go through. And if you go all damage and no penetration, then you have sick damage, but you don't deal any because you don't have... you can't penetrate the armor of the boss. That's basically what it comes down to. So it's all about the balance between those stats. So to know what number you want to get to in the different stages of the game, you want to use this one. Another link for you. You have your homework after this. And this is basically what you want to go for. So the IED here, it says functional IED percentage, and then based on where you are in the game, and this takes into account which bosses do you do then, and that takes into account how much defense they have and everything. So this is how much you want to have functionally. So not what you see in the windows in your inventory, but functionally. So that's the number that you want to have here.
Okay.
When you put all of your sources in. So some of these you will have, you can just keep them. Let's say that the Lumi level 3 link is in, you don't have that one, you just click it, then it removes it, and then you put Lumi 2, for example, for 15%, add new source, and it'll get added here at the bottom. And that way, you can't put a percentage, my bad. Because it says percentage now. There we go. Yeah, sorry, my bad. You just put the number, not the percentage. So you can use this to see like the sources so that you don't miss anything, right? Because sometimes a set bonus slips through. So you should basically just go by the exact situation you have now. Then you can add the things you have quick access to. So sometimes people are close to the monster Parker medal, maybe you're not. If you have lines of ID on your weapon, your secondary, and your emblem, you can add that here. Set bonus for Gollix, you have that one, so you can add that. And the thing that we didn't go over yet, because you didn't take screenshots, because I assume you didn't do too much with it, is familiars.
Yeah, I have no idea, no.
Yeah, so...
we could just skip that one.
Yeah, for familiars, I have a guide as well, so I'll link that one to you, and you can look through it in your own time. It's a lot of information. Sure. Basically, what you want to remember from that is that early on, you can get a lot of IED from them, and that's very nice. You can get 2 familiars very easily to equip 2 familiars. You start with 1, but the second one is very easy to unlock. And you can pretty easily get 2 familiars with 15% IED on it, which will help you a lot early on, especially for characters who need that IED so much, like you on a Kanna.
Okay.
So between adding that, the other thing that Kannas typically go for is at least 1 line of IED on your weapon, secondary, and emblem. You just need it because your base IED is so low. So ideally, people get it on the emblem, right? So it doesn't interfere with anything else because you cannot get it on your fan. So the only other option for you is to get it on your weapon. And typically your weapon is going to be higher tier. So boss damage and magic attack are better there than IED is. So you want to get the IED on your emblem, typically. Now, you already have 2 lines of magic attack, so that makes it kind of tricky. So you probably want to go overboard on IED on everything else. So you want to tank it into your Legion, go at least level 10 in your hyper stats, make sure that your boost nodes are on point. Basically for all of the other sources, you want to go a little bit higher to make sure that you can compensate for that. If you get into a lot of money and you still want to boss, so remember, this is mainly if you're going to be bossing things like Lotus Damien and upwards. If you're like Helix has a lot of defense, but up to like C-Val, HMAG and stuff, you're probably fine visually with like just a little bit over 80%, or like the functional like close to 90%. That's good for a long time, but it's mainly when you're going to do the harder bosses. That's when you want to really make sure that all of the IED is there, and then you will need at least 1 line, because this is not the number you're going to be at. You're probably going to be we're going to be quite a bit lower. You're probably going to be at something like this, like 85ish or something. With how IED works, basically if a boss has 300% defense, then every 1% IED you lose 3% final damage. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so if you have 80%, then you're losing 60% final damage, which is pretty rough. So every 1% extra is really good there, but every 1% extra is harder to get because you always get the percentage of the line of how much you still need to get to 100. So if functionally you're at 80 and you add a line of 20%, you add 20% of the missing 20%, so you add 4%. and then you go from 80 to 84. Yeah, so that's why this calculator is very useful, is because you can see how much it really will impact you once you add the lines. But yeah, so that's something that's going to be not so super, but that might be necessary, but only if you're going to do harder bosses, and only if your Legion, because if you get the 6k Legion, you can fill it up to 40% IED, right? That will be quite a bit, and that might be just enough to get you there. And then if you really want to min-max and go later on in the game, you know, you'll get more crit from other sources. You can take some crit rate out of the Legion grid, take those into boss damage instead. Some familiars at the higher level areas can give you maybe more stats, but you'll read more about that in the familiar guide.
Okay, yeah. Perfect.
Yeah, because I think there's a lot of things that changed since you last played, but I think we went over most of it. So yeah, the main thing I would do is check that compensation video now. Make sure you get all the details, all of the dates, all of that stuff in your head, and take what I said here. You know, however much you think applies to your situation. If you just want to, you know, click everything and get everything now, that's solely up to you. Yeah, with the symbols, just remember that if you add it to a low-level symbol, you can level it up faster, which means you get more arcane power for fewer symbols. So you will end up getting way more stat in total if you use it on a newer symbol that's low-level.
Yeah, I'll probably use it for Arcana, I guess, because I will be farming there a lot, I think, in the future for the droplets, and mine is only level 4.
Yeah. Yeah, just remember the extra daily is there, right? And the extra daily alone gives you the same amount of daily symbols as the other areas can get max. But you have Spirit Savior on top of that and Arcana, so the area will level faster. If you, the general thing I would just say, try to unlock the areas and then just level them up all evenly with the symbols, is what I would say.
Okay. But 1,000 symbols, that's...
It's a lot, but you can run out really quick too. So for example... level 17 to level 20 is 1,000 on one symbol.
Okay.
So once you get very high, it takes a lot to level up.
Okay, yeah.
But I think if you start at 0, I think you get to 12 or something. Yeah, in the beginning it's a lot. But if you know, you can get 1 to 12, or you can get 2 of them to like 8 or 9, right? It's kind of like with your hyperstat points. If you put them all into one stat, it runs out very quickly. But if you level a bunch of them, you can get pretty far with all of them, right? So
yeah, then I will probably go 230 and do the one after Arcana.
Yeah, just make a plan like, okay, how much do I want to train? Level up potions, take those into account, because 235, with the current potions, 235 isn't that far behind 230, right? Because if you do 230, you do one level and you throw all your potions at it if you want to, then you're immediately 235. And then you can start leveling all of the symbols up if you want. So yeah, just look at what you want to do.
Manually, I do all the potions, I get 235.
Yeah, well, the level up potions are also in the video, so if you read through all of that, you can see all the things that you're getting.
Okay, I will check that.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right. Yeah, anything else you had in mind before?
Final questions, just to make sure. The first one is the quest I got from where I can exchange my superior Golux pendant.
Yeah.
Is that even a thing for me, or should I just ignore that?
No, because you can only trade it for a belt, right? Because the drop table changed. So, but you already have the belt, so you wouldn't benefit anything from this. So you can just ignore that.
And then I'm thinking about asking for the badge. Is like if there's any new badge where I can?
Nope. This is the one. This is the one.
Okay. So the ghost is like the last one that was available.
Yeah, there was the Sengoku and everything, but that event never came back, and the map has been removed from the game code as well. You can no longer go to it, so it seems like they've completely closed the chapter on, closed the book on that.
Okay, that's kind of weird, to be honest, for new players.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, but at least we're getting the heart back now, so the Wondroid heart is going to be pretty big, so make sure you get that one once when the event comes back. It should be at the end of this month, so.
Okay, perfect.
That's at least a new equip to look forward to.
Yeah. So like, in gear progression, I will just get the new gloves, and I won't cube anything until I get the gloves.
Pretty much, yeah. Keep an eye for the events. So for Star Forcing, you want to use 30% off events to get to 15. And then once everything is 15, then you wait for a 5, 10, 15 event, and then get everything from 15 to 17. That would be the ideal way of going.
If I do want to cube anything, just because it's fun, it's the shoulders, right? The 17.
I think. Yeah, like it's 10 and 4 all, right? Yeah. Probably the gloves, right? Because you want to get critical damage there.
Yeah, when I get
in legendary.
Yeah, like before the abs, so I get like the shoulders and shoes, I guess, right?
Yep. And then after that, it would be maybe accessories, like right? Maybe the other pendant for damage, the other superior, because accessories have good have like low costs for high potential. But yeah, you want to do the 160 first, right? Because 1% more per line. But then you want to do accessories after that because they have cheaper potentials basically.
Yeah, which one was that?
You have one superior pendant with Meso Obtain. Because you have too much Meso Obtain, you can re-roll that one for damage.
Okay, I even have a reinforced one with 12 stars and 20% Meso and 12% int.
You have so much. You have so many accessories.
Yeah. I have a lot of them. Okay, I'll just re-roll one for damage anyway.
Yep, exactly. Because you have more than enough Meso Obtain now, so you're good to go.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. So when it comes to like in general for the balance, so when it comes to the events, you can check !events. I have a calendar there on all of the sunny Sundays and stuff. That's basically when all of the special upgrading events will be. They'll all be announced on there, so you can always keep an eye on that. And when it comes to the other upgrading, there was one more thing that I was gonna say on. What did we talk about before this? The gloves, the pendants, oh yeah, the other general stuff is like the progression document because that has the IED on it, but has all the other stuff on it as well, right? The critical rate, how much stat you roughly want to be at, how much total star force. So you can use this as a general rule of like, is my character weak or strong, and what do I need to work on most? So look at what you're at, what your level's at. And then look at where is the biggest difference between the numbers on here and the numbers in your account. And that's where you know you can make the biggest gains at any time.
Okay. So, yeah, my main stat is kind of low, to be honest.
Yeah, so that's probably a combination of things. I think that's mainly about Star Force. I think adding the Star Force and getting all your stuff up to 17 will get you a lot of main stat in total.
Yeah.
Because your percentages are pretty good. But I think I think that will help you. And also your arcane power. That will give you a lot of main stat.
Oh, yeah. Obviously, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so you have a lot of work, but it's a little a little bit everywhere. It's not like one thing. Sadly, if it was just one thing you need to work on, that'd be pretty easy. You just go hard on that. But it's a little bit of everything. So keep a little bit of an eye on everything. But yeah, I think once you check the video and read a little bit more deeply into familiars and into the resources, I think you'll have you'll know exactly where to go, I think.
Yeah, this helps a lot with like just a quick reminder of everything.
It's
what I missed in over a year.
Yeah, I didn't know exactly what you missed and what you didn't, so there might be a few things that we missed out on. But if there's any details or any confusion, you can always send me a message on Discord or let me know in the Twitch chat. I do my best to answer all the questions, and we have a lot of helpful people that have gathered over the years that are good at helping people out. So.
Yeah, well, I just make sure to throw it out there if something comes up.
Yep, and if you're still looking for a guild, check into the guild application.
Oh,
there you go.
We talked, yeah.
Exactly. Nice. We should have one of the juniors getting back to you soon. So then we'll see you in game. Yep.
Perfect. Thanks a lot.
Yep.
Thanks a lot.
No problem. And Tuck is the other.
No, Tuck is Swedish.
That doesn't work here.
but that's thank you.
Yeah, exactly. It's like tusen tack, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well.
1,000 thanks.
Awesome. Yeah.
Varsågod is
insane Swedish.
There you
go. Varsågod. Yeah. True.
Varsågod.
And in Norwegian, what do you say there? It's almost the same, right?
No idea. Like I think that might be the same, to be honest.
Yeah, because they're very similar.
Yeah,
but nobody likes to hear that.
Nah.
All right, but best of luck, and I'll see you around, maybe in the guild.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
All right.
Have a good one.
Yes, good luck. Bye.
Cheers. Bye. Bye.
All right, we helped him out a lot. All right, a super lot, and I have to really fucking go to the bathroom. Did you see that? You see me wobbling? Do you see me like higher to like? I got the Lucker Dog roll again. 21-star pants. I was like, oh, only 21-star pants. Let me see. Maybe it's some crazy flame or something. It's like, wait a minute. I scrolled past 21-star pants. Jesus. Good job, dude. I relogged. It won't close. Is it the intro thing? Can I go to the bathroom first? Okay. If you like this progression session and you thought it was very useful, I'm glad. Welcome to all the new players. Just like with this guy, make sure you check the compensation video. Read up on all of it. Check all the numbers. Come up with a good plan before you just redeem everything, okay? It has insane value. Make sure you use it appropriately because there's a lot of hidden value or lost. There's kind of potential lost value if you pick up things a little bit too early. So make sure you check that out first, okay? Thank you for watching this one. And thank you for checking out my channel. And I'm live on Twitch. Come join us for a live chat. All right.